Hi, I'm Rob Thomas, and I wanted to welcome you to another job hunting module in this series. In this one, we're going to talk about old school tactics and techniques. So, we've talked a little bit about at least how of the creation of your personal network. And I want to make sure that you recall that you are emailing, that you're chatting, texting, calling, that you're maintaining your personal relationships. You're going out for coffee, you're going out for dinner, you're going out for drinks. Maybe you're going away on a cabin trip together, like my wife is with her girlfriends, actually during the week coming up. So just make sure that you're watering that garden, you're taking care of those relationships, and don't forget that you're letting them know that you're looking for work. The same thing with your professional network. Check in, make sure that you're maintaining that, make sure you're growing it, make sure that you're, for me, a lot of my personal and my professional network overlap, but make sure that you're using all of those same techniques and tools to take care of those relationships as well. And we talked about the using the interwebs, right? And all the tools and tactics that are available to you out there. So we've already covered a really broad range, of tools that you can use to help you land a new job or a better job. And finally, we're going to break out the shoe leather. We're going to get to work. We're going to work harder. We're going to work smarter. And we're going to wear out that shoe leather a little bit. So I'm going to talk to you about how to do that and give you a couple of examples. But the biggest thing here is to be creative. So let's get started with those. So getting to work in your travels, especially now that COVID is letting up, and I think at least 100 million people now in the U.S. have vaccines, which is awesome. But even virtually, but even in our car, even masked, even socially distant, pay attention to what's going on around you and in your network as you pass by cork boards, as you pass by other places where people may stick up a business card or stick up an advert, advertising services and or advertising job opportunities. Pay attention and be willing to be creative and a little aggressive in pursuing some of those possible opportunities that you might see. And pay attention to your local schools and networking at any level of public school, private school, vocational school, colleges, etc. Anywhere where there's retraining and research, again, going physically to these facilities, letting the people there know that you're actively in the job hunt, making those connections, working the room, etc., etc. And also, there are thousands of jobs that are available that we didn't talk about in the earlier videos that are actually willing to pay you to train you to go to work. So if you're looking for a new job or you're looking to change trades, pursue those opportunities. Some of those pay to train to work opportunities are rather lucrative, so don't forget that. There's always online, especially now on LinkedIn, given the current job market, but there's also physical online seminars and places where you can learn about different job opportunities, different markets, and hone your skills and maybe even help you kind of discover or narrow down or help focus your job search. So make sure that you're taking advantage of those as well. Don't forget your local unemployment office. And it's actually interesting, and I'll kind of tell you a scenario where you go there and you hang out a little bit, and you show up, and maybe you have a regular routine where you go, you check in, you check the job boards, you chat up the local staff there, you make sure they know who you are, you make sure that you're gregarious, you make sure that you're smiling, and they get to know your face. And then they might actually let you know about some inside jobs that they kind of save for people in their network or people that they care about. So remember to leverage that time there. And if they have job hunting, networking, resume writing, any kind of classes there that are free. If they have computer access there, use all of the tools there and make sure they know who you are and make sure they recognize your face. And also talk to the other people that are there and network with them, exchange contact information with them. They might get hired somewhere and reach out to you. Don't forget about that. So leverage the other people that are job hunting too. And of course, the job fairs. And there's a lot of tactics around with job fairs doing a lot of pre-set up research where there's 20 companies at the job fair. There's 3 that I actually want to work for. And out of those 3, there's 6 jobs. So when I walk up to the table after standing in line with the other 10 or 15 people, I go, hi, I'm Rob Thomas, shake hands, introduce myself. Here's my resume. Here's my business card. And maybe even have a little sticky note or even in the cover letter with your resume and say, here's the 3 job postings that I found that I'm actually very interested in. Set yourself up for success. Set yourself in front of the other people there that are just walking up, handing a resume and walking away nervously. So think about ways creatively that you can put yourself in front of the other people that are standing in that line, hustling for the same job at the job fairs. Use that time of physical presence to shine and to stand out. Local libraries, public, both school, college libraries, there's many amazing resources there. They may have job posts there. They have computer resources there. Again, let the people that work there know who you are. Be gregarious, smile, be happy, be energetic. They will remember you and they will help you. These are people that you want in your pool of resources, of people that are going to advocate on your behalf. So make sure you set yourself up for success there too. And all of your other local government offices, opportunities, facilities, in any of your interactions with them, whether you go to the DMV, whether you're going to a tax office or some other, or the sheriff's office, or anybody that you're networking with in the local government community, keep your eyes open in the office. Listen to what's being said. Let them know that you're looking for a job. You never know what opportunities that they may know that are not being publicly advertised, and you don't know who they know. Continue to chat people up, let them know, and pursue any opportunity and any relationship anywhere and everywhere that you are. And of course, if you're a veteran, take advantage of all of the veteran opportunities. There's actually special consideration for veterans for employment, for training, and a lot of manager opportunities are specifically, veterans are specifically considered, and they're even listed in the job descriptions. So make sure that you're paying attention to that, because people know that if you're a veteran, you're going to be able to step in and manage people in situations immediately and take advantage of that skill and training that you already have. And all of the veteran associations and local and international, depending on where you come from. But certainly there's a lot of opportunity to leverage all of those different, whether it's the employer or the organization, use the things, and the government will also assist you as a veteran as well. So at your local community center, make sure that you show up, make sure they know who you are, make sure if you understand if they have a local job board, if they have some kind of internal networking, even local computer access and training there as well. Take advantage of that. And there's different type of centers available to you. And always, whatever type of spiritual center that you may have access to or be involved in, make sure that you're networking there, make sure that you show up there, make sure that perhaps you're even volunteering there. And again, at any of these centers, I'll reiterate and recap that they know who you are, they see your smiling face, and you show up. And you make sure that you do this regularly, like have a routine that you go to unemployment on Tuesday and Thursday, that you schedule job fairs at other times, that you're visiting the library and maybe your spiritual center or community center on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Have a regular routine. Don't just be sitting hunched over your desk or sending emails or even calling out to folks, but make sure that this is part of your physical, and I said again, shoe leather process, where you're getting up, you're getting out, and this helps you kind of get out of the funk and you're not just hanging out at home as well. And this is part of your routine. Every day you've got a routine. You're checking your job boards, you're following up on the contacts that you've made in your personal and professional network. You have maybe morning coffee with a friend. You meet somebody for lunch. You have dinner or maybe drinks with friends, and you rinse and repeat. And some of this becomes part of your just normal life routine anyway, and even part of just your regular social interactions with people. But there should be a regular cadence, and there should be a regular kind of circuit that you're working all of the time. Whether you have a job or not, you should always be thinking about the next move, the next level up. And if you just need to get a job now, a lot of these tactics will help you get from A to B a lot faster. Because remember what I said in previous videos, most jobs are not even published. And most jobs you get through networking. And these are the tactics that you use to network in and around your local area. So put this to use. And it may seem counterintuitive, but always be ready to help someone else. If someone needs a referral, if someone needs a ride, if someone needs help in any way, be willing to take the phone call, be willing to write the letter. You never know when that's going to come back full circle. You never know when that person's going to land a job and then a week or two later go, wow, this is a great job. And they call you because there's a job opening, and that gets you right in the door. It might have been the person that was sitting next to you in the unemployment office that you just met 2 weeks ago, but you made a really good impression because maybe they needed a ride to the grocery store, or maybe they had a flat tire. You never know how an act of kindness is going to pay dividends. And you never know if they could have helped you with your job search if you don't tell them. So keep that top of mind. And always be ready. And we've talked a little bit about this before, but let's take it let's reinforce it, repeat it, and take it another steps further. You should have your own pre-printed business cards with your contact information on them. Whether or not you have your own business, you should be able to hand your card to somebody so they can get in touch with you immediately. Especially if you're job hunting, have that ready, have it in your pocket, have a little card carrying a little case, and just be ready to bam, to give it to somebody. You should also always be ready. We've talked about this, to ship your resume, but you should be able to do it from your phone with within 30 to 90 seconds. They go, hey, if you send me your resume, hey, what's your email address? And you can pull it down from your drive that you already accessed from your phone and zip and send them a PDF file immediately. That kind of preparedness, people respect and admire, and they remember that. So always have that part of your hustle ready. Have your card ready, be able to ship your resume. If you're not physically, literally walking door to door with your resume, which depending is certainly, or from company to company, that's a tactic that works depending upon the type of job you're getting. That's also something that you can do. And a couple other parts of being ready is having your elevator pitch ready and practiced and vetted. All right, you've already done it with people, they've critiqued it, and you've got it down to something that's short, concise, and informative. This is who I am, this is what I want, and this is what I'm interested in, and let people know what's going on with that. So make sure that you're always ready for any circumstance like that to be able to deliver on any of those points. And finally, practice, right? You practice interviewing with people that you trust. You practice your elevator pitch. You practice networking. You're out there publicly with your friends and you're continuing to have these conversations. Ask them for feedback. Make sure that you're interacting. Make sure that you're polishing your game. You're polishing your presence. And at any given time, you're ready to be able to deliver this excellently. And then while you're working this, make sure that you're checking your goals. I was at a career assistance seminar where I was there as a volunteer helping people. And one of the people came there and was not very well prepared. And their pitch was awful. And so offline, I reached out to this person and I'm like, hey, when you're coming to people that are here to help you, but you came with a negative attitude and you were complaining, that's going to bleed into everything else you do and all your other interactions. You need to check yourself. You need to check your goals, And you need to make sure that, am I shooting too high? Am I shooting too low? Am I coming with the right attitude? Am I dressed to impress? And that's actually a really good a really good kind of side topic here, is in any of these networking opportunities, and every time I'm going out into public, I'm getting up, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm showering, I'm getting dressed well, and I'm showing up. And make sure that's part of your process. And checking my goals and making sure that I'm aligned, again, always asking for help. And when I'm meeting people, talking to them, do they have any tips? Do they have any tactics? And if you know people that are employed, what worked for them? How did they get their last job? And continue to dialogue and ask about this. This is the job. I'm working and looking for a job. And making sure that any information that I get from anybody, that I should be able to push that into my current process, and I'm continuously reinventing it. And I'm always looking for ways to empower my game and improve myself, improve my tactics, and make sure that I'm constantly moving things forward. And if I'm just stuck in a rut and I'm out here sending out 500 resumes, I'm sitting at my computer for 4 hours every day and nothing is working, it's probably time to tweak what we're doing. And never quit. Sometimes this can be discouraging. I found that if I'm banging against the market and the network kind of cold or kind of blindly, it can be really discouraging. You're going to get no's, and sometimes it's a numbers game, and it's okay. I'm actually actively in an interview process right now myself, and while I'm confident, and while I think I know all these tactics and I know all these tricks, and I do my preparation and I get dressed and I'm looking good, before my interviews, there's always that little bit of nervousness, and some people are really hard to read, and some people give you a clear indication, but just keep working it and keep trying and keep tweaking and adding to your toolbox from all of the input that you get from everyone, and keep adding to your network and keep building and keep the momentum going. And if we're using all the tools that we've talked about and we keep bringing these things in, we will get there. And keeping in mind that I continue to incorporate all this information back into the loop, and I check my goals again, and I check my system again, and I just keep making those micro adjustments and tweaks, and eventually I will get where I want to be and where I need to be. All of this will lead to the target, of course, and the target is that we want to be employed. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes sweat, it takes work. And if I'm, seeking a new job or I'm up-leveling, I've got to be willing to put in the work. It's really that simple. A good job, a better job, whatever I want, it's not simply just going to walk in the door. Usually, there are those weird one-off outliers. But usually I've got to put myself in a position and create my own luck to be successful. So I want to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to check out the links down below and hook up with us on other social media platforms. You can also join us for live discussions. We're going to talk more in future videos. We'll talk about resume writing. We'll talk about actual interview techniques, and we'll continue to work and build on skills so that you can be successful. Thank you for joining us, and happy job hunting and happy streaming.